So one of the most important social cues you can teach your dog is how to greet your guests politely without jumping on them, biting at them, barking at them, etc., etc. There are so many things that can go wrong in early socialization. If you just don't have guests in the house when the dog is learning, they can come to fear them, or they can come to have it be such a rare and spectacular thing that they're overly exuberant about it. So when you do have a young puppy like this, make sure that you're inviting as many people over as possible. Throw little puppy parties, let people handle and pet and love your dog up. That's the first step. Now, as the dog is growing and learning things like sit and like stay, they tend to learn those things initially for a reward like a cookie, but it doesn't have to be always for the cookie. They can start applying that to other rewards in life. So the dog can learn that before you greet it when you come home, or before a guest comes into your house, that before they get to say hello, they have to put their behind on the floor. And then you reach down and pet the dog and give your exuberant greeting. If the dog then immediately jumps up, take your attention away and ignore the dog for a moment. Redirect the dog for the sit, and then come down and reward it again. If the dog learns that the only way he gets your attention and the attention of guests is by keeping his behind on the floor, that's going to become his go-to move. And that's a much more pleasant way to be greeted by a dog, especially larger breeds. A lot of times people don't actually do this with smaller dogs because they think it's not that big a deal. But remember, the dog is still a dog, and he's still learning, and he should really learn how to be polite. It's just as important as a big dog. So all dogs should learn. Guests come in, they sit down, they get greeted. If it's a hard thing to coach people to do, and you'll know certain guests will be coachable, other guests would not be coachable. So if you could tell your guests to ignore the dog until the dog is doing a sit, or until you can direct the dog to sit, great. If they cannot be coached, put that dog on a leash. And if he goes to jump up, you turn away and bring him away from the guest by a foot or two, ask him for a sit, and then he can reapproach. But it has to be something that he's doing in a calm and polite manner. Give that a try, and that would be my suggestion for teaching your dog how to greet guests politely.